Good evening. It's Tuesday night, the 10th of November, and day 314 of my journey to business alignment, and I'm living the dream. It's alive and well in my daily activities, that's for sure. Last night, I wrote down this power statement for today. I will work with Fahad to help push him a little bit each and every hour, the 2 or 3 hours he has left, to get those pages all designed up, those landing pages, sales pages, while I push myself to get the order pages forms all designed out in Ontoport so we can link them up. So here's what I had for my to-do list today. Very short right here. I'm going to wad that up because I want to talk to you about it. I had some other to-do lists here. There's a bunch I had to do as well that I got done today. I will work with Fahad to help push him a little bit and get those little pages all designed out. My number one most important task for today is to get Fahad to get those landing pages all done. My fun task for today was to get my order form finished so I can duplicate them over and over. I got 16 individual product order lesson pages to do. My exciting task for today was to finish the task of getting all 12 lesson worksheets, PowerPoints finished up and ready to be linked up on each of those step lessons landing page, sales landing pages. There'll be a little list of all the things that's worksheets, but they're not going to be links. I decided to have a little form there, a PowerPoint. They click on it, it opens up, and all those different things they can print off and look and read and play. So, I only have to have one link. And my exciting task today was to finish the task of getting all 12 lesson worksheets, PowerPoints done so I can link them up. Before I get ahead of myself, let me go over my end of the day success routine questions. Get honest with yourself, Marty. What didn't go well today? Or what could you have done better today? Did you wake up early and start strong? I did. It was more like 6:45 though, but it was a great thing. Did you start your morning with power? Check. Were you productive throughout your day? Pages of it. Pieces through the portal of my mind. Those pieces were important in them and coming through the portal of my mind is the world of the physical, manifesting there because I'm taking the effort to make action and take tasks and get them done. So I moved my goals forward. Did you show up as the person you wanted to today? Absolutely. What about your personal time with Kathleen for Tuesday night? Spend our evenings all the time together. She's present for me. I'm present for her. I come down at 5:30. I'm home. And she says, I'm home. She's got a 3-second commute. I have a 14-step commute downstairs. Anyhow, were you present? Yes. And here's my end of the day success routine accountability questions. Were you honest with yourself about today's task, Marty? In other words, did you keep your promises that you made to yourself this morning? Well, this morning I promised myself that I would get all 3 of those top 3 tasks done today. And that's what I did. Bam, done. The next question is, what movies did you watch during your mindfulness time today, Marty? During the mindfulness time, I watched my must-see TV favorite 5 movies, always, 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 and then it was going to the movies time. Once again, I watched people coming to my website as though it's already live and launched and working, and I'm doing my coaching. The Ontoport's membership system on the site is all integrated in it, and it works fantastically well, at least in my mind. I love this instant pre-play movie. It's so exciting. Can't wait till it's absolutely right here in the present. My next question says, what's the one thing that would make all the difference going forward? What one thing can I do better tomorrow? Well, the one thing I can improve on daily, and that I'm improving on, actually I'm doing it daily, is how I've been managing my thoughts. It's helped me immensely in how I show up each day, how I want to show up as the better serve me kind of person. Here's what I came up with for my power statement for tomorrow morning. Okay, today both Fahad and I will fix the list of bugs that we've been working on, that we both have. He'll still work on the sales landing pages, getting all the little detailed bugs done, and I'm going to be designing those, and I'm going to be working on my order form pages and designing those out and working out any bugs, so that when we then link them up, oh my goodness, it's going to be fantastic. After Monday's efforts, both Fahad and I still have a lot to do with the member sign-up pages, like I just mentioned, and the product order pages. Both the sales landing pages and the order form pages got to get done. We got a lot to do, but once we link them up together, so close to being done. I found out that there's a lot to do to get these setup pages done and finished. I'm having to help Fahad do his, making sure he's doing what I'm needing him to do, because he only goes and does what I'm trying to imagine and come together and then show him what I want him to look like. And then I work on the order forms, and because I know how I want them to look like. So I'm busier than a one-armed man in a paper hanging contest, so that's for sure. The next question I want to answer at the end of every day is, before I go to bed, is my end of the day success routine questions. It says this: were there any mistakes or failures that you may have had today, Marty, that you can turn into a tool of success going forward? Well, in short, today, once again, though, not perfect. It was a near perfect day. I didn't make any mistakes or I didn't have any failures. I'm still learning a lot about the Ontoport system platform, of course, but I'm learning that. That's to be expected. Speaking with the chat people has been so helpful for me. And all the little videos, I keep all the chat history and the links and the little things they have, and I just go back and look at it and go back and look. It's so great. Fahad, last night we communicated. And he's been working all that throughout the night. And then when I got up this morning, I saw what he did. I'm going to do the same thing tonight. We're communicating, and he's getting to work on those things through the night as I go to sleep. So it's going to be great. The next question is, what was your biggest success today, Marty? In other words, what did you do well today? Well, I think my biggest success today was nearly finishing the order form that I've been working on all day again, besides doing a lot of other things like you saw, and making that PowerPoint file. I even designed up a little button that can click and it opens it up. That all the worksheets for each lesson is on one PowerPoint file, and I'll put that button on each one of those landing pages. Lesson 1 worksheets, lesson 2 worksheets, lesson 3 worksheets. They just click it, and then all the slides are the different worksheets. So very slick. I don't have to have 15 text links or whatever. So that's going to be great. With the PowerPoint approach, they just click on that icon, open it up, print off what they want. Fantastic. Anyway, let's continue on with my end of the day success routine. It's time to rate my day's effort for today. I decided to give today's effort a 9, and that's because I worked at the speed of 9 today. It was almost at the speed of 10, but because I was learning how to use Ontoport's platform still, I've been a little slower getting things done than usual. But that's okay, because I'm becoming more and more familiar with it, and I'll be able to use it going forward and slick as a whistle, so it's fantastic. Okay, I want to end the day strong. Here's what I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for the principle that says creating a new, empowering alternative is absolutely critical to establishing long-term change in one's life. If you got a behavior you want to change, you need to have an empowering alternative to replace it. Failure to find an alternative way of getting out of pain and going into the direction of feeling pleasure with regards to any area of our life that we wish to change is the major reason most people's attempts at making change is only temporary. The fact is, a whole lot of people reach the point of pain where they have to change. They want to change. They say that they must change, and that's because they have linked so much pain to their old pattern, their old story, and they link pleasure to the idea of making a change. They might even interrupt their patterns, their mapping in their head, but after that, they have nothing to replace that old pattern, that old mapping. So far, we've become clear about what we want and what we will prevent us from getting it. We know what's stopping us and sabotaging us. We've even gotten leverage on ourselves in many ways. We've interrupted our pattern of thinking and our mapping, and now we need to fill the gap with a new set of choices that will give us the same pleasurable feelings without the negative side effects. Yet so many of us forget that our mapping, our neurological patterns are designed by our brains to help us avoid and even get out of pain and into pleasure, even if it's the short-lived or even it's going back to the old pattern. We don't like pain and struggle, so we go right back to what we think is pleasure, even though it's temporary. This kind of mapping is well established in our heads, and while it can have negative side effects, if you've learned that a habit can get you out of pain, you'll still go back to it again since you've found no better way to get the feelings you desire. Once we've stopped our negative behavior, such as smoking as an example, we must come up with a new way to replace whatever benefits we used to get from this old behavior. The benefits of the old feelings or behaviors must be preserved by the new behaviors or the new feelings while eliminating the old negative side effects. For example, what can you replace worry with? One good way, if you can't come up with your own, is to model someone who has turned things around for themselves and do what they say you should do to stop worrying because it's worked for them. Finding someone who has made the lasting change you want to make, you will discover that they found an alternative to replace their old behavior, and you can too. That's what a mentor is all about. That's what a coach is all about. These principles lead to the next thing I'm grateful for, the law of transformation. And actually, there are 12 laws of transformation which say the laws of transformation are principles by which we can live and act, for they are a guiding beacon of light on the high road towards truth and whole life health. The more closely we cleave to these principles and natural laws, the more effortlessly we will find change. If one uses the lever of external pressure, such as the legal system, to make a change in one's behavior, they've been put in jail, in other words, it rarely has a lasting impact. As soon as these sorts of pressures are lifted off a person, people will return to their old habits. If people use internal pressure on themselves as another leverage to help them change their bad behavior so that it lasts a great deal longer, and it does usually, but often suffering a significant, almost incredible stress experience, it causes a relapse, because returning back to the old habit seems to be a way of getting out of that pain and into pleasure again. Why? Because they had not found a replacement for the old neural pathway, their old mapping highway on which they've traveled so many times over and over again in their thinking. Those individuals who replace their old behaviors with new alternatives that gives them the feeling that they've been seeking for and they enjoyed originally, but without the negative side effects, or perhaps something that made them feel even better, they experienced lasting change. That's what's so incredible. Next, I'm grateful for Nancy Mann, who is the researcher who said the adoption of a replacement behavior appears to play the major role in the complex field of change. NAC, in other words. Those people who succeed in kicking their old negative behaviors for many years before they finally backslide back into it are those folks who stopped at the fourth NAC step and didn't employ the fifth and final step to achieving lasting change. And that's what I'm going to cover tomorrow night, is the fifth step of mapping so that you have permanent lasting change. So there you go. Again, I hope you enjoyed these thoughts. Leave it as a cliffhanger. It's time once again to go to bed, so I'll be right back here at my laptop. And until then, until tomorrow night, I wish you continued success. Always, always, always. I wish you continued success. Good night.